Greetings and welcome, my dear friend, my Leo. Welcome to my channel. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I'll be doing three portals reading for you for the mid-month of July 2020. Your birthday season is coming up quite soon. Blessings to you, and may the energy of Surya, the sun, guide you in the coming weeks. So yeah, let me just clean this up, and we'll go ahead and start the three portals reading. The portals are designed to be essentially ways of letting forms come about. So these forms are patterns that may or may not be affecting you, and the energy of others may often come into the readings. So take what you will, only what you will, and leave the rest. I welcome you to use your discernment and to practice the highest of forms of spiritual awareness. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started. Firstly, I would like to build for you the bridge. The bridge is essentially a small reading that will show the energetic discourse of what you may be dealing with in the mid-month of July. I am also available for personal readings. I'm considering doing extended for the third portal. Let's see how things turn out. And that could be made available for your perusal through my email. The bridge is now emerging. So, okay. So, there's a point of action here on the bridge that has to do with the movement of the mind. The mind is trying to separate itself from something here. Something that you are dealing with is essentially a bit of a cut or some sort of energetic purge or a cut, okay? Something from the past that you have moved away from was essentially not to your standard, to your degree of expectation when it comes to how you fulfill yourself. And the bridge walking is one walking with drudgery. There's like this feeling of really trying to avoid some deep and welling emotions that have been coming up with Cancer season, as well as with the eclipses. One of the eclipses were actually very good for you, so you have to discern which one that is. Possibly it could be Cancer, could be the Capricorn eclipse. It's kind of a haze for me right now, but one of them is really important for you. You have to discern which one is good. So look back in the past month and a half and figure out, up to 2 months, figure out what exactly, which shift was the most prevalent for you. But there generally is some sort of lingering emotional indigestion here, okay? Um, there needs to be also a way for you to transcend a fear by making a choice of whether or not to cut something out. Um, it could be that if you cut something out, it will affect more than just you, but two other people. And also the need to break free is very clear here. There's a prison. Your mind has been activated so much from avoiding essentially something from the past that has to do with the triggers that come from the eclipse energy. if you if you focus a bit more, you might be able to discern with clarity what exactly has been triggered here. But it's been a lot of rumination. And like I said, there could be the element of two other people within your situation as you walk the bridge, as you try to cross it, that even your thoughts, which may be moving away, may actually damage them. So be very clear with the way you formulate, excuse me, and and deliver your thoughts. Even your thoughts carry action. But what you're moving towards essentially is the Seven of Pentacles energy, which is um, a feeling of not being able to truly materialize something that you had hoped would have worked properly. Okay, this is like you're working hard on something, but you feel like you can't. It just doesn't make sense, or you get to a point where the bridge is too hard to walk, and there is a sense that you've taken many steps, but each step was laced with a feeling of trying to escape, trying to break free from a prison of fear and a prison of your mind, okay, when it comes to the expectations of love, especially involving two other people here. Um, but yeah, uh, as far as that goes here, the Four of Pentacles, there's also um, something about the structure that you're not willing to let go. You have to find a way to conserve your health, your physical health as well as your mental health. The idea of with Cancer season, the emotional body comes strong. Okay, so it's really important to take heed of that because the emotions and the body are connected, right? So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started on the portals now. Once again, this is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I am available for personals, thank you. And I might do an extended for the third portal. I invite you now to clear your mind and relax. Thank you. This is for the energy of Leo, mid-July 2020. Okay. The Seven of Swords appears, okay? Seven of Swords is usually indicative of a journey away, a moving away, but as the move occurs, as I said, the Five and the Seven of Swords come strong, especially with the bridge. There's something about your own thoughts that are uncontrollable, and these thoughts are essentially creating karmic severs, karmic cuts with those around you, and there's a lot of thoughts that are affecting you psychically, so you have to be very careful and protect yourself. That is something that the Eight of Swords does, but because it was in reverse, there's a sense that you're trying to free yourself from that protection so that you can open up to things that you feel like you should seed into again, your energies. So it's really important that the undercurrent is essentially trying to relinquish this, to fight not only the Eight of Swords by making it reverse, but the Seven of Swords in reverse. So there certainly is a way in which you can be cognizant of certain elements of darkness when it comes to your thoughts or the thoughts of others that may be affecting the situation. Okay, there it is again. So the Four of Pentacles is strong, and it's one of your strengths right now. Like I said, with the need to break free from certain thoughts or patterns, you will actually find yourself getting a lot more healthy, which is a good thing. So those two cards are very important as well. There is an element of growth with the Empress here, okay, and clear vision. Truth may be emerging from all of this, which is a very good thing. And that is the undercurrent. Okay, the Empress is all about, and it's the major arcana, and the Empress. So the number 3 card, the sacred number, as well as the 3, the 4, the 7. The 7. There's two sevens here, and they're both in reverse. 77 in reverse. Something is being pointed to. There's like a grounding, and from this base, you and someone else, or you and another, are pointing to the same thing into the ether. There's a connection here. And it's proving as a sort of clarity for you, and I think you're willing to grow and build whatever this is in order to find some sort of mutual choice making or mutual balancing. Be careful that if you enter into the karma or entangle yourself into the karma of others by through interaction, that there will be an element of juggling and also some sort of emotional despondency in the situation. Okay, meaning that. It'd be hard to live up to certain emotional expectations, or the emotions that rise up may be suppressed altogether in order to find a sense of shielding or a sense of like protection. The energy once again of Cancer shows up, as well as Capricorn. Um, now, I'm going to fuse these portals together. There are 3 of them here, and the third. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Okay. The first portal has to do with the fusion, the energy that binds you and someone else here. You're on this side right here. This is their side, and there's the combined energy of juggling certain things here with the 2 and the 2 making the 4 of Pentacles. The strength, the aegis of the connection is here. It emerges, and in this aegis, in this shield, there is a sense here of the 7 of Rods. 7 of Rods is usually indicative. The 7 shows up again. So there's a lot of 7s here. 7, 7, and 7. This Rods is neither reverse nor upright, meaning that it can be taken 2 ways. And it has to do with a sense of challenge, which is a really good thing for Leo, because Leo rises up to the challenge. So there is a sense that you will be called upon in July to rise up and to certainly take a stance, and not only that, to break down barriers, especially to shatter egos. Okay, within this connection, the ego is shattered in a certain way. There's something about the chrysalis of the ego, it shattering, and then there's transformation. Okay, the transformation involves 2 things, making the basis of the 7 of Rods here. One involves you, and you giving and nurturing and siphoning out your energy to the future. There's also another agent here, which is the 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords is indicative of great fear. So someone is fearful here. This person is fearful of you moving on and giving your love elsewhere. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here, and that's the mirror between you 2. But there is a truth or something that rides up against the 8 of Swords, which is trying to discern or trying to find truth against a psychological block or a psychological mode of protection that this person has. Okay, it's very clear here that here with the Queen of Cups as well as the Knight of Cups, the 2 of Cups energy here, there's some sort of love that you're divesting or you're channeling into another thing. Or at least you're trying to look into the future and finding ways to either romance or to nurture certain things outside of yourself. The 10 of Cups is here, as well as the 10, okay? Signifying an ending and as well as a lasting connection. So the 10 of Rods is usually an ending, the end of a cycle, the dying down of passions, the fire coming down to a simmer, or like the heat coming down to a simmer, something like that. So like the embers just sort of like coming down, and that's very stunning because we have 2 tens here. Okay, so we have the 10 of Cups, 9 plus 1, and then the 3 of Cups here. There's a lot of joy on your end. You're radiating, and even though there is an ending, there is also some sort of ending that has to do with the final culmination of certain things, right? The passion's gone, but the love is still there, something like that. And you're carrying this on. It's elements of self-love, but also a gracious gift from the heavens that you are now carrying and bringing on to future things. When it comes to future things, there's an energy that you might approach. Let's see. what that is. Okay, that wanted to come out. Okay. Okay, so passions are being activated, and anything that was once the Five of Cups energy, which showed up earlier in your bridge, is going to be burnt out. It's going to be saturated and dissolved. There's an element of dissolution here, but also of maintaining a sense of propriety in what you do, Leo, rising up to power, and also having a truth that severs or cuts the past out. Okay, but your gaze is like towards anything that will activate essentially your core principle of creation, of manifesting things that you want. Okay, but as you do this, you might come across as someone who is very selfish, and that is not the case. Or perhaps you may be giving to certain people who are also future oriented, or at least difficult to entertain in some sort of way. They have also possibly some sort of power thing going on, but that's in your future stance essentially. What could be you're approaching as the Knight or the Queen of Cups, something here that needs to be tended to, that needs to be cooled down in a certain way. Okay, very interesting. Bottom of that, Three of Swords in the upright. Ooh, you have to be very careful with this energy, because there is a chance for you to either be rejected because of arrogance, or rejected because of past trauma. Um, and the Three of Swords is, of course, it's heartbreak. And the Six of Swords in reverse, this could also be a past situation that has to do with tension, as well as abandonment issues. So it's very important to really not be disillusioned by the very cup you carry into the future. Okay, now this thing in the past, okay, it could be the same person, doesn't have to be. There's a tower moment that occurred when they were trying to make a choice. So like an ending, transformation, some sort of ego death, as this person made a choice either to you or to someone else, or to something else that had to do with some sort of worth or value to them. Now, yeah, so the way I see it, the tower with the lovers is essentially them feeling kind of jaded, or um, losing passion, or like not being able to be fully potent in the connection. And that's the key, because we have the Eight of Cups here, them essentially departing, going off, either to tend to some sort of other thing, or just being an avoidant in general. Okay, um, yeah, so it's sort of like their movement away was to avoid the tower, but also it caused it, and they were trying to make a choice, or were tempted by some other agent here, and now they're living essentially in the Nine of Swords, which is fear that you're going to depart, as well as you're rising up to the challenge, okay, for something new, something very new. Um, yeah. So as far as advice goes, it's saying here to really, really try to find a way not to escape things, but to embrace anything that you may be avoiding in terms of what has made you melancholy for some time. There's some repairing that needs to be done on your emotional body, and there will be offers from friends as well as people from the past. These offers are slight; they're very light, but they're not enough for you to actually stabilize. There's some sort of thing inside of you that needs to understand not to externalize your expectations. Okay. Yeah, that is the portal, or those are the three portals, one, two, and three, and the undercurrent, as well as what you're heading into. What this person has been dealing with was a choice, and the choice inadvertently led to the tower, or it could have been, very, very, very intentional. Especially with the avoidant Eight of Cups here, essentially moving off, and like leaving the connection behind. But there also is like the search for joy here with the one, two, and three of cups, as well as the Two of Cups between these two characters here, which can be the same agency. They can be you, with the energy of Cancer as well as Scorpio. Yeah. Um, I think you're ready to grow and to move on. And I really like the way you're progressing forward. But remember, there is a possibility for heartbreak with someone, so you have to be very careful, where you place your cups. All right. Thank you very much, Leo. This is Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. Take care now. Bye.